Hello YouTube, I'm Zach, you're watching ZakDTV, the place for interesting news from around the net. In today's episode, we're going to look at the first commercial space station. It's getting ready for flight. We also have an explanation for a signal that was found in the 70s, and we're going to wrap up with all I could call is the coolest knife throwing I've ever seen. So if you're new here and you want more stories like this Monday through Friday, go ahead and help me grow. Click that subscribe button over there. All right, let's get right into this. For my first story, let's talk about Axiom Space. They're a Houston-based startup that's 16 months old, and they plan on building a commercial space station starting in 2020. Their first step is going to be to send a capsule up to the space station that we have up there right now, the ISS. They're going to attach that, and they're going to start their works from there. This is going to serve as a capsule for our astronauts, their astronauts, and even some of their deep-pocketed space tourists, which they're talking about $10 million per flight to go up there for a week and then come back to Earth. The training for those trips is supposed to start later this year because they plan on putting tourists on the space station in 2019. Pretty nuts, right? Now you might think, this Axiom Space, why would they even know what they're doing when it comes to putting together a space station? The reason is their CEO, Michael Suffredini, managed NASA's ISS program for 10 years. And they also have Cam Ghaffarian, who was the CEO of a contractor that trained NASA astronauts. So these guys do know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, and I think they can get this done. So according to these guys, after 2020, they're going to start launching their capsules up there one after another. And they should have their complete space station built by 2024. That is when we are supposed to deorbit the ISS. They do have talks about taking it to 2028. Nothing solidified there. Right now, it looks like we're going to decommission the ISS in 2024. So at that point, the Axiom Space Station will disconnect from it and be its own self-maintaining corporate space station. During this time, Axiom will start taking on visitors more and more frequently. They'll also take what they call sovereign astronauts, which will be people sent up by the United States, China, whoever wants to go up there and hang out on their space station. But they really want to monetize this experience. According to Amir Blockman, that's Axiom Space's Vice President of Strategic Development, they'd like to see with us astronaut uniforms that look like NASCAR uniforms, or modules that have companies' names on them. Lab equipment inside the station could be sponsored by companies in the biomedical field even. They really want to pull every dollar they can out of this. But it's an even greater idea than that. They want to do orbital manufacturing. Basically, they want to get a bunch of 3D printers up there. It's cheaper to manufacture in space than on ground due to lack of gravity. And they want to start producing things like jet engines, satellites, space probes, things to that effect, and actually turn the space station into a manufacturing platform. According to Blockman, we can envision printing hundreds of jet turbines and super specialized alloys and downmassing them in quantity. Downmassing being shipping them back here to Earth. We're talking about 2026, 2027, and 2028. They plan on doing a manufacturing facility circling the Earth. They plan on doing this with a California company called Made in Space, and they do additive manufacturing 3D printing. Basically, you're adding layers of metal instead of plastics. Same concept as 3D printing. You can see my video on how they did this to make a grenade launcher up here. But they're also looking to go large scale with this using Made in Space's Archinaut technology. This is cool. It's a satellite that can manufacture things. Pretty neat concept, right? And they figure this could even augment the space station by building extra platforms, new capsules, things like that. This should be a self-contained manufacturing facility. They also plan on working with like Bigelow, who does the inflatable environments. They have one attached to the space station right now. It's been up there for about a year. And they have said that it is our objective and plan to work with everybody and to use whatever is best suited for our purposes as the systems come online. They want to grow this. Manufacturing in space, it's going to be here soon. For my next story, I want to talk about a signal that was heard back in 1977 at the Ohio State University. This signal was picked up coming from the area of Sagittarius, and they thought this might be an alien signal. It was such an odd signal that the guy who heard it, Jerry Eman, wrote "wow" next to it and circled it because it was like something they'd never seen before. Well, now, astronomer Antonio Paris thinks he may have come up with what this is, and it's probably not alien. Back in 2016, Antonio released a paper after his studies on different comets that are flying around our solar system. He's been trying to figure out the origin of the signal, and he thinks he did it. In his paper, he identifies two different comets, 266P or P2008Y2. These were both in the area when and where the WOW signal was detected. Both these comets have huge hydrogen clouds around them, and for whatever reason, they put off the same type of signal as what was recorded as the WOW signal. In fact, in 2016-2017, he pointed his telescope at 266P and got the exact same signals from it. So there you have it. That's probably the explanation. It wasn't a signal from an alien planet, probably just a signal from a comet in our own solar system. I still believe in aliens, though. And finally, I want to show you the coolest knife throwing I ever saw. Yes, that is a crane. Yes, that is a 500-pound knife, and that is the Prius that Megabots beat up on at Maker Faire. Well, before they scrap it, they might as well beat it a little more, and this is how they do it. Would you expect anything less from these guys? They are nut jobs. But that is the coolest knife throw I've ever seen. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Remember, if you like what I do, your friends will too. So go ahead and share me on Facebook, Twitter. I do this 5 days a week. That's Monday through Friday. It's Tuesday now, so I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Be safe.